Hello, Sean Borey here at Borey Audio Laboratories. What you see here is some recent production. I have a quota now I have to meet of 200 blanks I have to produce. Borey Laboratories now has two other employees now. There is Brianna and Darren. Darren helps with molding blanks, and Brianna sometimes helps with molding blanks, but she mostly shaves blanks. A little bit on wax cylinders, some interesting facts. This is the manual of the phonograph here, and we're going to look at this section about blanks and records. It says, the Borey record of today is commonly termed a wax record. There is nothing in its composition that justifies the term, however, as the principal ingredient in the mixture for which wax cylinders are molded is stearate of soda, a white chemical compound, hard and semi-transparent. These cylinders vary in color from white to dark brown, caused by varying conditions in the process of making. So, one of the things that collectors often wonder about is the color. They say, well, they're a different color, they're a different formula. Such is not the case. Cylinder blanks vary in color depending on how long the compound is cooked and when the record issued from the mold. Take, for instance, a fresher formula that has no recycled wax in it. You might get a record like this one. It's a very cream-colored light blank. What's fun about it is the fact that it's almost transparent. You notice that you can see light coming through the record. So that is a very light blank, because it probably has very little, if any, recycled material in it. As the wax is cooked longer, they become darker, so that you might come to a blank that's this color. All these blanks are of exactly, well, as close as you get, within 1 gram, the same formula. In fact, I use a dialogram Old House laboratory scale to measure all the ingredients out. And I try to a tenth to 100th of a gram of accuracy to make the batches of wax from which these blanks are molded. The process of making these blanks is very similar to making an Edison blank in the 1890s. And you will notice that even 1890s original, this is an original Edison blank from the 1890s. And this is an Edison blank, and I'll just pull out another original Edison blank, and you'll notice that there is a difference in the color. And these are original blanks. We'll go get another one here. There's some that are a little darker and a little lighter than others. Here, you can notice that they're very similar. This is one of my blanks. And then Edison blank. This is okay. These records have not been shaved down to their final shaving yet. In fact, this is what a rough record that has just been trimmed. This is a record as the surface comes out of the mold, the blank mold. You can see it's very thick. These are about 2.3 inches thick. For a finished record that's around 2.155 to about 2.190. That is their final finished blank. What I notice is that a lot of the older collectors like to fight with me on the research of the blanks. What I want to do is gather as much information on making, original notes, recipes, and information on how they made the original blanks. And the more information I get, the better it is for customers. And the more accurate, more historically accurate product you get. As far as I know, these are as close to an original Edison production blank as can be made today. I follow the notes of Jonas Ellsworth. That is the man who developed the formulations for Edison's blanks. And that is what I follow to make these records. I hope you've learned a little bit about production. As you see, there's 60 some blanks here. And these are all made within the last couple months. In fact, our production is now ramped up to, about 15, 16 blanks a day, which is pretty good, I think. This is the last couple days' productions in this box. And as I said, that the records are usually thick when they are, let to season. Another interesting point is the seasoning factor of blanks. If somebody orders blanks and they need them in 15 days, they're not going to sound as good as if they would let them sit for a month or 2 months. The surface of the blanks becomes at least 2 to 3 times harder in that curing time. It's a necessary step in use of blanks. I also suggest always having a good shading machine. Is any blank that you get, whether it's an original one or one of the new ones that's available, you should always shave the surface before you make a recording. Anytime you record on a blank, you always need to shave the surface. And I suggest 1 regular pass of the shaver and 3 to 4 fine passes where the knife barely touches the blank. On the dictaphone and Epiphone shaving machines, is called up for the second cut. Go 3 or 4 times over the surface, and then afterwards take a little cotton batting, or mostly I would suggest using a brand new cotton ball and lightly going over the surface of the blank. You will have an absolutely quiet surface on your blank. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the production of Bory Audio Laboratory Brown Wax records.